So I didn't really understand the moon until rather recently. That might sound really ridiculous because I did go to elementary school. I did learn about the solar system and the universe and how all these things work. But apparently I didn't retain a lot of key information. And so I recently became very curious about the moon, this big shiny object in the sky every night. And so of course I turned to YouTube to educate myself on what the moon is and how it works and how I perceive it versus how it actually is. Just get some more information. So in my findings on YouTube, I found a bunch of different helpful videos, many of which included versions of little models of the moon and the earth featuring different styrofoam balls and light and shadows to kind of teach the concept of this massive rock that's out in space almost 240,000 miles away from me here on Earth. And it was really helpful to engage with those videos and see that this big thing out there that I can't really understand can actually be explained in these smaller elements that I can sort of begin to wrap my mind around what the moon actually is and how it works. Now I bring this up because this upcoming Sunday, we are celebrating the Solemnity of the Most Holy Trinity. And this is the central mystery of Christianity, the fact that we worship one God with three persons. If you grew up in the Catholic Church or maybe you've gone to Catholic school, you've probably been introduced to the Trinity and have been offered different models and analogies for understanding the Trinity to try to wrap your mind around the mystery of who God is as one God and three persons. You may have heard about the model of the shamrock or the apple. Maybe you've heard about using a triangle as a helpful analogy for understanding this one God, three persons reality. No analogy or image will ever fully express the reality of what the Trinity is, because at the end of the day, it is a mystery and it is a mystery of love. So there is no image, whether it's a triangle or a shamrock or an apple, that will help us understand perfectly the reality of what the Trinity is. So it's a mystery of love. It's an eternal exchange of love shared between the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. And that's how we understand what we know to be true, that God is the source and essence of love. And so ultimately there's no image that will ever perfectly express the reality of the Trinity, but it's actually our love as Christians that expresses the reality of who God is. That when we enter into relationship with God, when we receive His love, when we receive that eternal exchange that He exists in, and then share that love with the world, with the people around us, with the people we encounter, strangers, friends, family, that's when the Trinity is most fully expressed and understood. It, yes, will always be this infinite mystery that in our finite human understanding cannot fully know and understand, but the image of the Trinity is expressed when we respond to who God is, when we receive the love that He has to offer, and in turn share that with the world around us. So the more that you and I enter into the mystery of who God is, the more you and I enter into that eternal exchange of love, the more time we spend with the Lord in prayer, receiving the sacraments, understanding who He is in His Word, the more we ourselves can be transformed by that love that He is, and the more we can go out and offer that love to a world that desperately needs it. That's how the mystery of the Trinity will be expressed to the world. Yes, we can use images and analogies to help us understand so that we can understand who God is and reflect and meditate on that reality. But at the end of the day, it is our love which will authentically express who God is as Trinity, as an eternal exchange of love. So I want you to spend some time this week being intentional about reflecting on the Trinity, about spending time with the Lord, knowing that He is a communion of persons who is one God that we worship, and enter into relationship with Him every day. Choose to enter into relationship with Him so that as you go out into the world, whether that's in your school or in your family life or in friendships, you can freely give away the love that you have received from this eternal exchange of love from God Himself. If you have any other thoughts about this week's reflection, please comment below. I would love to chat more with you all about the Trinity. It's a mystery. There's so much to unpack there, an infinite amount of things to unpack, of course. And of course, I hope you are having wonderful times in your Summit small groups. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. And I can't wait to catch you next week as we continue to journey together through this group of Summit Sundays. Thanks for watching.